Friday. Fantastic good morning to you and welcome to the Friday edition of Bright Republic of Bright FM 98.7. It's about time to have interesting conversations on radio, and we're about to just review the headlines that we have on our various newspaper headlines on Newspress this morning. And please, we encourage you to be part of the conversation. Together we make Nigeria a better place to be in. Now, in case you want to put a call across or just send us a text message, our phone lines are available, and we're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bright FM Abuja. Let me first roll out the phone lines before we get right into the headlines that we have for you this morning. Now, our call line is 0808 704 1217. That is our call line 0808 704 1217 to send us a text message on WhatsApp 0901 615 0614 0901 615 0614. Now, first off, we're just going to run through the headlines that we have for you this morning, and then we begin to take them one at a time. We're going to begin with this headline right here on Punch newspaper this morning. Only polytechnic education can solve youth unemployment. This one is coming from Rector. Only polytechnic education can solve youth unemployment. This one is coming from Rector, and the story is right here on Punch newspaper. Now, moving forward to Vanguard newspaper this morning. Tax reform bills. Reps adopt 7.5% VAT, reject increase to 15%. Reps adopt 7.5% VAT, reject increase to 15%. And this one is on Vanguard newspaper. Now, still on Vanguard. For 50 years, we've been spending generations yet unborn money. This one is coming from the president himself, Tinubu. Now, let me take that headline again. For 50 years, we've been spending generations yet unborn money. This one is coming from the president, and the story is on Vanguard newspaper. Now, moving forward, still on Vanguard. NANS rejects tariff hike by telecom companies, issues 72-hour ultimatum. NANS rejects tariff hike by telecom companies, issue 72-hour ultimatum. This one is on Vanguard newspaper. Moving forward to The Nation. FCCPC to multi-choice. Maintain current rates for DSTV, GoTV. FCCPC to multi-choice. Maintain current rates for DSTV, GoTV. This one is on The Nation this morning. Now, still on The Nation. Tinubu, reforms saved us from bankruptcy. Reforms saved us from bankruptcy, and this one is on The Nation newspaper. Now, moving forward to Daily Post. Nigerian lawmakers approve Tinubu tax reform bills. Nigerian lawmakers approve Tinubu tax reform bills. And this one is on Daily Post this morning. Moving forward to Niger News. PDP governors, Obi, NNPP in talks over alliance. PDP governors, Obi, NNPP in talks over alliance. And this one is on Niger News this morning. Now, still on the headlines this morning on Vanguard newspaper right here. Anambra police decry negative impact of sit at home. On Vanguard newspaper, Anambra police decry negative impact of sit at home. This one is in Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now, moving forward to Tribune. IWD. MCWS advocates women's inclusion in government society. IWD and CWS advocates women's inclusion in government society. Now, this one is on Tribunal. That's all the headlines that we have for you this morning. When we come back, we'll begin to take them one at a time. As we usually say on this platform, we encourage you to be part of the conversation. Bright Republic gives you the platform to share your thoughts on national issues, so it's important that you take advantage of it. And if you're a consistent listener of Bright Republic, you've never called us, please let today be your matriculation. Do well to join in the conversation when our phone lines open up for you to do so. Now, in case you want to call us, 0808 704-1217. That is our call line to send us a text message on WhatsApp 0901-615-0614. My name is Ezubo Victory. Right back. Alright, welcome back. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Branch Republic on Branch FM 98.7. Now, let's begin with the story right here on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Tax reform bills. Reps adopt 7.5% VAT, reject increase to 15%. And this one is on Vanguard. Let's look at the detail of the story. The House of Representatives has retained the value-added tax rate at 7.5% and rejected a proposed gradual increase to 15% by 2030. The House also rejected the reintroduction of inheritance tax. The decision was made after reviewing the tax reform bills, which aimed to overhaul Nigeria's tax framework. The House Committee on Finance made significant amendments to the bills, including changes to the Nigeria Revenue Service Bill, Joint Revenue Board Bill, and Nigeria Tax Administration Bill. The amendments aim to improve transparency, efficiency, and oversight in tax administration. The committee also introduced new penalties for non-compliance by virtual asset service providers. The Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture said it would await details of the approved report before commenting. Meanwhile, the Movement for Socialite Alternative advised Nigerians not to celebrate yet, as the rejection of the VAT increase is only one aspect of the tax reform bill. The MSA called on labor unions also to join in. Now, good morning one more time. I don't know why we ended this with saying that Nigerians should not celebrate yet, because I think I started off with this morning so that we'll have something to be grateful for. Let's just put smile on our faces, because we have been complaining about the proposed increase of the tax to 15%. I mean, because there's been a lot of lots of hikes lately, and we've been looking at the burden on average Nigerians. And now the House of Representatives, they are retaining the value-added tax at 7.5% and rejecting the proposed gradual increase to 15%. I think that is a good one. The House of Representatives, looking at the realities on ground and also standing for the people, understanding the burden that it can put on average Nigerians, business people, small, medium businesses, and what have you. So then the telling us, or the MSA now coming to advise Nigerians not to celebrate yet, because the rejection of the VAT increase is just one aspect of the tax reform bill. I really do not want to agree with that. I think is one step, or is one body lifted from the shoulders of the Nigerian people, while we also look forward to some other things being touched to also benefit the Nigerian people. Now, the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture have also come out to say, okay, you know for details of the approved report before commenting on the new development. I don't know, let's see how this goes. If you ask me, them retaining the VAT rate at 7.5% and rejecting the proposed gradual increase to 15% is a good one. It's going to really help, Nigerians, because we have been complaining, like I earlier pointed out, about just about a lot of things in, the hike, just about a lot of things. So this is people friendly, and it should put a smile on our face. While we're talking, Kebby, I walked into the studio. Good morning, Kebby. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, thank God it's Friday. You're supposed to be rejoicing because yesterday I said thank God it's Thursday and you said no, wait till Friday.
Yeah, I'm rejoicing.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So we're looking at how that the House of Representatives, has retained the VAT at 7.5%, and they've rejected the proposed, increase to 15%, and they also rejected reintroduction of inheritance tax. They just basically also touched just about a few things. And if you ask me, I think that this recent development is for the benefit of, the average Nigerians. We have been talking about increment of almost everything, and now that we're almost at the last lap of, the tax reform bills, agreeing to it and just moving forward to something else is I think is on a good note, this new development. But MSA, that's the Movement for Socialite Alternative, has come to advise Nigerians not to celebrate yet. They have their own reasons, because they are talking about how that the rejection of the VAT increase is only one aspect of the tax reform bills, that there are some other things in the tax reform bills, that might also hurt Nigerians, here and there. But, we've talked about it on this platform that it's not everything that is on the tax reform bills that everybody will agree with. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make ahead. There are some persons who have one or two things that they are against on the tax reform bills, and they have also brought, their displeasures, forward, and that's also why it took time, or it's taking time for the tax reform bills for them to, finish up with the procedures and just, we'll start seeing the impact. But let me get your take on the recent development.
Well, they say we should not rejoice.
Kevin, don't start from there. Start from what you think.
That's what I think, that they say we should not
So
rejoice.
okay.
Because there are other bills there that might still affect Nigerians. So we should just be happy at first with the 7.5, because I remember when they brought up the 7.5 and they said they were going to stick with it for a very long time. I don't know why they are bringing up 15%. At first they said 7.5 was going to carry it till 2030 or so, and now they are coming up with 15%. So I'm happy that they rejected it, because Nigeria is going through a lot. So increasing it to 15% would have made things way expensive.
Increase the burden on
And
Nigerians.
you see that other sectors too would have also come out to say, oh, due to the challenges in Nigeria, due to everything that is high, we are also increasing our own prices of things, products or goods and all of that. So it's a good one that they stick to the 7.5, but I just hope that they don't later bring up reasons why they want to increase it to 15%, because that was how they did with telecoms 100% before 50 and all of that. So I just hope that they don't bring reasons later to change it. But since they said we should not be happy, I've not been happy with the whole situation, so it's not a new development for me. Because there are other tax reforms, those ones too are also going to affect. Like, they're not coming out to complain that is not going to favor them, because they are more of consuming states than the producing states. So that one is all aside, is going to affect. And when you talk to, even the agriculture aspect, we have not really looked into that. What about the luxurious goods that they want to impose tax on? We have not looked into that. So, like I said, we should not be happy.
Okay, don't think that we should take that advice.
Take it. Take it.
When we have good developments, come on board, I don't think it's such a bad thing to appreciate it, and while you look forward to them implementing some of these things, and also while we also hope for other policies that would favor the people. When we just, because every other time we complain about things not going right, we criticize policies that don't benefit the people. When we see policies that now stand for the people, it's not such a bad thing to say, oh, we appreciate or we celebrate, in as much as some persons will say they're doing their job, that's their job, they're supposed to do it. Since we're not seeing them doing it, when they now finally do it, I think that we're not so wrong, to want to celebrate. If they had agreed to the increment to 15%, the truth is that's what is going to happen. Everybody will pay it. The least that we can do is complain and criticize and cry. But if the House of Representatives, decided to go with the increase to 15% VAT, do you understand? We're all going to pay it. It's going to impact us. It's going to, be burdensome. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. But I mean, they decided, instead of this gradual increase to 15%, let us retain the 7.5%, that we already have. And I think that this this MSA coming out to say, oh, Nigerians don't celebrate yet, I don't think that that's such a good advice.
It is.
Okay.
It's actually a good advice because, just like you said, if they were going for that 15%, we have no choice. Just like what Telecom did, despite the whole coming out to complain and ranting and this NLC coming up, Sarah saying they were going to court and all of that, at the end of the day, we're still paying for it. Despite all the whole complaints. Now, okay, NANS is also coming out to do their own. We're still paying, despite the fact that NANS is coming out to do their own, we're still paying for the 50% hike. What about the light aspect? We're still paying. So even if they had come out with okay, we're accepting the 15%, they will give you reasons why the 15% should be accepted.
But they did not.
I said if they were to accept that 15%, they would have given you enough reasons to why we were moving with 15%, and you can't do anything about it.
That's what I'm saying now, Terry.
And that's why they are telling you that you should not be happy about it, because it's other bills there that are going to also affect you one way or the other.
But this one is also a reduction. It's a relief. You don't think so?
Okay. I don't think
I'm
so.
finding it difficult to convince Kevin this morning. Let's move forward to this story right here on Vanguard. NANS rejects tariff hike by telecom companies, issue 72-hour ultimatum. Kevin, this is not the first time that NANS is issuing a 72-hour ultimatum.
Yeah, really.
But a fraction of NANS started protests as of yesterday. So maybe that has triggered the entire. Exactly. So now the National Association of Nigerian Students has strongly rejected the recent tariff increase by telecommunications companies in Nigeria, describing it as unjustifiable and insensitive to the plight of Nigerians. In a statement, NANS condemned the hike, stating that it worsens the financial burden on Nigerians, especially students and youths who heavily rely on telecom services. The association noted that the increase has significantly raised the cost of calls, data, and other communication services at the time when citizens are already struggling with economic challenges. NANS expressing concern over the negative impact on students, many of whom depend on affordable telecom services for academic research, virtual learning, and staying connected with their families. The association warned that the tariff hike threatens the ability of students to navigate academic endeavors and maintain vital connections. NANS has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to the telecommunications companies, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, and the Nigerian Communications Commission to reverse the tariff hike. Failure to comply with the ultimatum will lead to nationwide student protests demanding justice, accountability, and a full audit of the telecom sector. NANS also telecom operators to prioritize consumer interest over profit margins and engage in meaningful dialogue with stakeholders to find sustainable solutions. The association restated its commitment to advocating for policies that promote equity, fairness, and the well-being of all Nigerians, and vowed to hold all responsible parties accountable to ensure the rights of students and citizens are protected. Now, Nance is saying that failure to comply to the 72-hour ultimatum, I mean, they're going to go on a nationwide student protest. Kev, what do you make of this?
This is not the first time they're coming out to say something like that. And they're not the only ones who have come out to also talk about nationwide strike or protest.
Regarding this issue?
Yes.
Okay.
NLC came out to now. When they were give you 78. The committee that was set up for it, where is it today? We're not even hearing anything about the committee because the government has accepted it.
NLC wanted us to boycott.
But before they boycott,
it's not the NLC, it's the people. Okay.
Before they brought it up, they were also talking about the reduction at first. So before they had an alternative, okay, it's like they are not going to accept to let us go for the boycott. They brought up the reduction and they were like, okay, we're going to go into a 72 ultimatum, we're going to go on strike.
It was also not NLC's fault. They set up a committee.
Where is the committee?
And the telecoms.
This is not the first time that committee has been set up in Nigeria that is moving.
There was a time frame given for each parties to.
But they kept coming up with strike. We're going to go on national strike. Oh, we're going to slow down because we are planning, we're talking, we're having meeting. Oh, the committee 10-man panel has been created, so we're not going on strike. Oh, they did not answer us, we're going on strike. Oh, we're not going to go on strike. That's what they were doing since. So now it's coming up to do their own. I don't see any difference. It's just that, okay, this is from the student aspect because it's really going to affect them. But I don't see difference because it has already been approved.
So you don't think that the strike would produce any result?
The federal government has approved. And besides, they came up with their reason. They don't want their staffs in a situation where they cannot pay their staffs. And also because they want to improve their services to the consumers. So how do you expect the federal government accepted? So I don't know how they are going to do to change it.
Kevin.
Other unions has come out too to make sure that they fight against this price hike. But where's the result? We didn't see any result at the end of the day. So what's the difference between this and the other unions that came out?
You know that different bodies, in fact, aside the telecoms, all of the hikes that we've experienced this period, there are a lot of persons now who are kicking against it. Now for the CBN ATM charges, that the House of Reps have told them to reverse. Kebi, are you with me? Has told them to reverse. Now for the multi-choice increase also, they've told them that, I mean, the Federal High Court also has told them to slow down. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. The FCCPC has been on the matter, that's the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. They have been on the matter for them to make sure that there's no hike anywhere. Which other hike? This hike now that we're talking about. I think that the only one right now that we're not seeing people speaking against and telling them to shut down is the electricity hike. I mean, for now, maybe some people are going to come up. And in as much as, because of, you know, a lot of times that they've come out to stand against these things and we've not seen results, I don't think it's such a bad thing to really trust the process, because a lot of persons are now on this matter. Take for instance the issue of this telecom tariff hike. You know, there might be a reversal, if you ask me. The problem with all of these things is these people going through with some of the statements that they've made, you know, and some of the threats and what have you. There's no way that NANS as a body, you know, the entire 36 states, students who this tariff hike now majorly affects, you know, decides to go on strike, that nobody will listen listen to them. And they are not standing alone. There are civil society organizations who are with them. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. NLC has also been on this matter for quite some time. You know, so with all of these people, if they join hands together, I don't think that
All of Sarah.
exactly. Serap is also part of, you know, the people kicking
One of the court cases.
kicking against this. Kevin, I know why you're just raising all of this. What I'm just trying to say is it's not such a bad thing to want to trust the entire process. Let's see where it's going to lead us. The only time that we lose hope now is when they don't go through with what they're giving 72 hours, right?
Lose hope for NLC.
Wait, Kevin. This is another body, NANS.
Did you lose hope for Sarah?
Wait, Kevin.
No, just answer the question.
Wait.
Did you lose hope for Sarah?
I trust the process until I don't hear from them anymore.
You trust the process until you don't hear from them.
Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? So now, what I'm saying is that there's already a 72-hour ultimatum coming from NANS. NANS, even when NANS came on board in the first, what I said is that this is like the first time I'm seeing NANS want to go for something. I don't know if you get me. Most of the times when we want NANS to stand up for students and fight for something, we don't see NANS anywhere. I don't know if you get. So now that NANS has decided, okay, you know what, this is impacting students. So we're going to have to fight for the rights of students. And they've decided that after 72 hours, if they don't reverse the telecoms hike, they are going to go on a nationwide student protest. What I'm saying is that if they eventually go on a nationwide student protest, I don't think that the parties on board don't have, you know, human feelings or don't have ears. They are definitely going to listen. That's what I'm saying. Unless after 72 hours now, we don't hear Kevin, slow down.
Just one question. Let me ask you one question.
Okay.
Is this the first time?
This is not. That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask the question.
Okay.
But it's not related to hike and all of that. When ASU used to always go on strike, how did the government tackle it?
Kevin, hear me.
How did the government tackle it?
Kevin, hear me.
Just answer. How did the government tackle it?
Kevin.
Did they answer them at once? Or they tell them that we're on it? Or we're creating panels for it? At the end of the day, the staff still come out to complain that they have not answered them. That there are some certain things that they are holding, there are some certain things that have not been given. What about the 2009 agreement? This is not the first.
Can we wait for this? Can we
No,
wait for this 72 hours to elapse and then you tell me I told you so? I know that you are waiting for the I told you so, but let's
I'm not telling you so. But what about NLC when NLC tried to pull up some strike? Like there are some, I can't remember the exact strike, but I remember that day I was still going to work even when that strike was on.
I understand. I totally understand that this is
understand?
Nigeria. I also understand
This
that
is-
our hopes have been crushed time and time
Making that
again.
statement that this is Nigeria.
Yes, this is Nigeria.
Present Nigeria.
But there's still room for growth and for change.
No, there's room for growth. But
Yes.
when the power is not allowing you to grow and change, you go.
Kevin, if NANS decides to go on a nationwide strike or protest, the entire 33 states, universities across board, I don't think that the government will be insensitive to, you know, not pay attention to
Don't
them.
worry, they'll create panel. Don't worry.
Kevin, let these 72 hours elapse.
Okay.
Then you can now say, Sunshine, I
so.
told you so.
I'll love to tell you that.
Yes. So just allow it, because I mean, just like we pointed out earlier, this is something that is really affecting students. They've talked about how that, I mean, this is affecting academic research, this is affecting virtual learning, and also the ability to stay connected with their families. And this is one major thing that I've seen NANS come out to, you know, stand against for God knows how long.
In as much as
You know, so let's give them some benefit of doubt, if you ask me.
is actually rejecting other tariff hike. They accepted this one because of the reasons that were provided. I know that other sectors are actually trying to increase their tariff hike, like the CBN and the multi-choice. They at this moment they are telling them, okay, just wait, we're going to get back to it and all of that. But they accepted this one. It was brought to their table.
And what the people are against it now, the people are against it. The people the
panels were
should be
created
allowed
for
to
it.
air their view.
Their views were aired and was listened to, but they accepted it.
Okay.
Do you want somebody's father? 6 months they will not pay their salary? That's why they accepted it.
By the way, Barrister has got to introduce you. Barrister Phillips, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you, good morning.
Thank you, Barrister. Good to see you. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Barrister, I know you're itching to share. To share.
I know you will not stand with me. I know you will not stand with me. You can stand with her, but I'm just telling you reality.
I'm not even standing anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the present Nigeria, and this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Strike and protest no longer move problems anymore. They just sit.
Well, unfortunately, I'm even standing with you.
Oh, I love you.
I'm even standing
They
with
just
you.
accept it. Like, they no longer, if it's before, I mean, remember the Shimona time and the rest when you bring up, okay, when the fuel subsidy was removed during Goodluck time, you saw what happened. If it was at that time when protest and strike was to move mountains and bring solutions, yes, we would accept it. But look at ASU, that's why I give you an example of ASU. As ASU, look at what's happening. How many times have they gone on strike? I am a witness. They have gone on strike for how many times? Still, the 2009, Sunshine, 2009, since that time till now. What about the unpaid salaries? What about the issue they are complaining about? Them not getting their stipend and all of that. Now, okay, during this reform and all of that, they are still trying to bring in new fund and remove third fund. What about? And they are still complaining that they should not do that.
Kerry,
I know it doesn't relate with the
No,
one they are bringing, but
everything that you're saying is valid.
happening.
That's why I also said that sometimes it's difficult for Nigerians to agree with all of these things because of the lack of trust in the system, which some of the delayed promises and promises that were not fulfilled have fueled. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? But I am saying that NANS has come out to say that they are giving these people.
This is not the first time that the
That's what
government
I'm
has
saying.
been giving 72
Kevin, you're not understanding.
of that.
Okay, I think that we have to move from
But this is not the first time.
Okay.
Neither will it be the last.
All right. Marissa, do you have anything to add before we move? I'm not going to stay on this matter with Kerry. Kerry is strongly, standing.
But then her opinions are valid.
I said that 100%. I'm just saying, give Nancy a chance. That's what I'm saying. 72 hours.
But you know, this is not the first
After
time.
that, Kerry can come and scream in my face and say, I told you so.
But you know, this is not the first time Nancy is coming up to say things like this.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
This is not even the first time they are giving 72 hours ultimatum. I also mentioned it here.
at the end of the day,
All of these things you're saying,
everything
they
is
are
swept under
valid.
the carpet.
Sarah took them to court.
Forget even that sort of stuff. I don't understand, Sarah.
No, I'm just giving her like an example to
They should,
Sarah took them to court, and what is the case now?
those people, they are always suing.
Sarah did not even finish with that one. Even when CBN came out, they started talking about it.
Kevin, your points are valid. I have Barrister. You have made
Sarah
your
will
point.
always sue. There will be no result of the suit, no effects, nothing, no judgment. I've not heard of any of these suits where there's a judgment of the court saying this and that, one way or the other. But you always see them and say, they're suing for that. Don't they have lawyers? I'm here. You can come and pay me.
I've never heard of any judgment.
I'll give them results.
Now let's move forward to this story right here on Niger News. PDP governors, OB and NPP in talks over alliance. Now, opposition parties in Nigeria are making significant moves to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general elections. The People's Democratic Party, PDP governors, Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, and the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, are are working together to form a coalition that can oust the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. Now, the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, who is also the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, confirmed the development after a closed-door meeting with Obi, stating that they have a lot of respect and admiration for Obi's style of politics, statesmanship, and deep knowledge of the economy. The proposed coalition is gaining momentum, with the coalition of united political parties confirming that discussions are ongoing ahead of 2027. The CUPP National Secretary Peter Ame emphasized the need for a strong southern candidate to defeat Tinubu, identifying Obi as the only southern candidate capable of doing so. Now, Ame also urged northerners involved in the coalition discussions to select credible running mates from their region. Meanwhile, the PDP Deputy National Youth Leader Timothy expressed concerns about selecting a presidential candidate, suggesting that other parties should adopt the PDP as the platform for the coalition. The Labour Party has not officially joined the coalition discussions, according to the LP National Publicity Secretary Obiora. Obiora described the LP as a powerful party and expressed doubts that coalition talks will be pursued by the party leadership. However, Peter Obi's individual efforts to consult with key political figures, including his meeting with Governor Mohammed, demonstrates his commitment to addressing national challenges and promoting good governance. Now, as the opposition party continues to explore coalition options, it remains to be seen how their efforts will shape the 2027 general elections. Kevin, yesterday we started this conversation with Madam Nasser El-Rufai and his defection. Now, him also coming out to say that he's going to make sure that he brings opposition parties together to unseat APC in 2027. And now we're seeing PDP governors, Peter Obi from the Labour Party and NNPP also coming together to, talk about 2027 general elections and making significant moves to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And even, yesterday when we were talking about this, we're talking about the in-house squabbles happening in different parties. And we're also seeing that even with this conversation now, it's just the Labour Party presidential candidate who is on board with this. The Labour Party in itself is saying we're a strong party and we don't think we're even going to come together, to work on this. But with all of these things happening, opposition parties coming together to challenge President Ahmed Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general elections, with Malam Nasser El-Rufai also and his team. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they stand a chance in 2027 to, move APC aside?
If they do well,
Okay.
if they stand well, then they stand a chance. Because one thing I know about APC is that they might not like themselves in that party, but they have one goal: to make sure that they remain on seat, to make sure that their party still in power. So if they actually pull together and make sure that pull hands on deck and make sure that, okay, yes, we are determined to remove this party, and the people actually ruling now, that's my problem. The INEC, all these bodies under this particular party, the law itself is under this party at this point. I'm sorry, Barrister, but I just have to say what is in my mind, because that is what is happening. Most people now are being subjected. The law is no longer functioning properly. So if they can actually look for ways to make sure that these bodies actually stand on their own, then they can actually move, they can actually win and pull out APC. Otherwise, 2027 is not going to be their own. APC is still going to be in power, because one thing I've noticed with this whole system in Nigeria now is once that party is in power, they want to stay long. That is what is happening. They want to remain. If you give them 4, they want to stay 8, if possible, even 16, and all of that. So if they can actually make sure that the bodies are now standing on their own and they have integrity, then they can actually remove APC if they work together. Otherwise, to me, it's a waste of time.
Barrister, let's hear from you. Let's hear your thoughts.
Well, the truth is that when it comes to winning election, on the face of it, winning election prima facie, on the face of it can actually work by, what I mean is when the opposition come together with integrity and with sincerity of purpose to form alliance, it will actually work. But then the problem that will be encountered will be the system, the issue of system. By system, I mean INEC. By system, I mean judiciary. You can see the way the APC government is tussling with the judiciary, tossing with them like football. They're building houses for them, buying cars, doing that and doing that, just to use them, turn them around, use them for their purpose. And they're actually getting it. They're actually seeing, using them. So the police, the army, the military, all of these systems will be a huge problem for the opposition. But as for going to the poll, votes being casted, and elections being declared free and fair, the truth is that the APC doesn't have a chance to win election. Even the 2023 election, they lost it. But they won with the help of the system. But prima facie, the truth is that APC lost that election. But with the system and the Nigerian factor, so if the opposition will make wave, we should find a way to fight the system. So I think that's the only way. Otherwise, the APC and Tinubu will make use of the system and then have their way in 2027.
Now, with just like I pointed out earlier, with what RFI now is doing with SDP, because yesterday when we were having this conversation, in fact some of our callers had so much to say. We talked about how that RFI was like a strong part of APC when he was there, and even with coming out with some kind of information talking about how that the Bola Ahmed administration, that they are the ones sponsoring the disputes in several, in the opposition parties.
Of course, he doesn't need to say it for you to know.
Bringing
he doesn't need to say it for you to know that they are the ones sponsoring it.
We pointed out some of these things. I pointed out how that he has been a key player in APC, and also coming out to join SDP now. With all of the information that he has at the tip of his fingers, also it might give him an edge. I don't know. And him also talking about how that he's going to bring other persons on board who are going to rally around him to make sure to unseat APC. And now PDP governors, Obi and NNPP having conversations. Just like you clearly pointed out, if there's clarity of purpose, in what they want to do, they might have a chance. APC also had to come together to unseat PDP. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? So 2027 is around the corner, and let's see how it goes. You have talked about the system, and it's something that I took out time to also point out yesterday, and how that with everything that is happening, it doesn't even look like the Nigerians are the ones who are voting in their leaders.
No, not at all.
So with all of these conversations happening, the
INEC will do their work, the judiciary will affirm it.
The coming
at the
together,
Supreme Court.
it's just as if the elections will just go to court, and before you know what's happening, court is electing somebody. It's just really out of the hands of the people.
Yeah,
and you see, that's why we're moving for an INEC that would rebuild the trust of the average Nigerians. And with all of the back and forth that these parties and the personalities are having, that let it be that it's the people that would elect their leader stories that we have for this morning. Now, in case you want to be part of the conversation, our phone lines are open right now. The number to call is 0808 704 1217. Hello, good morning. Oh, so sorry, I think that we lost that one. 0808 704 1217. That is our call line in case you want to be part of this conversation this morning. To send us a text message on WhatsApp, our WhatsApp line is 0901 615 0614. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Fantastic. Good morning, Mr. Ruben. Is that you?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good to hear from you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the Nigerian, I wanted to mention about the one that happened at Anambra State. I don't know, the one that go. Yeah, let them, they have to live with it. Because the government of that, not the government, have to live with that go. Because they are the government in that southeast region where the access of what is happening, that place, that go really don't come. Something close that go. So whatever they are doing in that go, they have to live with it. After the people that are not coming out there, they are not coming out to do anything on that very Monday. Every Monday, they are not even complaining. They are
Mr. Ruben, you're not sure about that.
I'm sure every Monday, there's no situation in Southeast.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that the people are not complaining. So you see that is because of fear of loss of life. It's not that they are not complaining. So, but do you agree that it has negative impacts on the people? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Continue. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Ruben, for your contribution this morning, because we needed to clearly point that out. That, I mean, people who are experiencing this at home have actually started complaining about it. If we want to be sincere with ourselves, we're going to take that story, but Mr. Ruben just brought it up, so we decided, okay, you know what, he can go ahead and share with us. But we'll soon touch that story. Hello, good morning. Mr. Bright, good morning to you.
Mr. Bright, good morning.
Good to hear from you.
Good morning, my brother.
Go ahead. society that is against injustice. You build a country that favors Jack. You build a country that favors Jill. I think that we still have calls coming in, but we'll just go on a quick one, and when we come back, we'll come back with our calls. So just keep your phones by your side so that once we come back from this quick break, we'll take a few calls before we continue our conversation. Please do not touch your radio. Stay with us.
Siri, play me some tunes.
Sorry, something went wrong.
Music, please.
And radio ethics, and that's why I used to allow my people to talk, because we I'm
listening to you.
So, and I'm saying, to say, monitor all this thing, and we don't need to get like struggle. In fact, let's go. Let's be my last statement. We just ask you questions. That for here, I say that he's your host. And he has just like this last caller pointed out, everything
Nonsense. I know now. That's true. Oh, they are just what is happening in this country? They're just manipulating things. Manipulating things to suit some interests. That's all.
You see,
I see. They want one election now.
Sunshine,
They want the election.
these people that do collection is not going to go anywhere. APC is there, is there. Except you want to go and pay your man to INEC. And except the lawyer that will judge the case, they will pay your man and they will protect the family of the lawyer. They will win.
Look at what this guy did now. When Buhari's secretary, what he did was this INEC, this Mahmoud, he took his families to State House. Wife, children, this State House. Him, they INEC, they work. They use an threat now. Say if you do anyhow, we'll kill your family. They took his wife, children, all of them they State House. They were feeding them, taking proper care of them, anything they need, but they will not step out of that. They didn't step out until the man declared Buhari before they let them.
Yeah, Article 1. How many times Article don't win election?
Article 1.
When did they carry and go
Yes.
court? At the end of the day, what's they have?
The first time that was 2019 now.
Yes.
Article 1 2019
Article
election.
1 2019 now.
Clearly.
But what's happened?
There will be 2023 election.
What's happened? They took all of them to court, but the court declared that they are not the winners.
At least if Article no win anyone, that 2019 Article 1.
Alright, welcome back. In case you are just tuning in, this is still Bright Republic on Bright FM 98.7. Martha Phillips is still in the studio, KBI is still in the studio, and we're deliberating on national issues. I think that we're going to take a few more calls before we go back to the stories that we have for this morning. So in case you want to put a call across to us and share your thoughts on the issues that have been raised or the headlines that we read out earlier when we started, the number to call is 0808 704 1217 0808 704 1217. Send us a text message on WhatsApp 0901 615 0614. Hello, good morning. Alright, do well to call back 0808 704 1217. That is our call line. Our lines are still open to you until we find time. Somebody said on WhatsApp, good morning my people in the studio. Madam Victory, I disagree with you. All the protests they are doing, which results is it bringing to Nigeria? Please forget it, thanks. Mr. John from
Good morning.
Abuja. Please go ahead.
So, please, about the issue of can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Please, the challenge with that government, sometimes I used to blame them, sometimes I don't used to blame them because they just to stop it. Government has the power to stop that situation. They have everything to stop it. It's just that sometimes if government employ or employ soldiers to that place to give people government and Accra, the only thing is that Nigeria from the where they get their another state or another state. Because everything I mean, not because we are far or like this. They divide the country. They because it's far or outside or why you that's why we are fighting people and no. I understand I'm from people side. This is that very making people to be hungry. They are crying, many people are crying. Because people are like that side, they are not they are not used to work because maybe they are working, everybody is doing business, trying to make maybe get their family and their children and stuff. But they are trying to say this has been on one, everybody is not on one side. Sometimes they say and people are hungry. Those boys are using making people and killing innocent people. So stealing and everything. That is why those that man president Ajamba. They are trying to stop them, trying to make sure if they should not bring that group, if they should make sure that stop police in that place, they will try to make sure they create a war or problem more than before. So we better change our definition using in case that
All right, I think that we lost Mr. John from Abuja right there. Okay, hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning,
Good
Mr. John.
morning.
Good morning, Mr. John. But then what's that said it though? I didn't
Go
listen.
ahead, Mr. John. Yes, we're
I didn't
listening.
listen.
Go ahead. Hoping that it will count. hear you. Can't hear you. Just round up, Mr. John. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. John, for your contribution right there. On WhatsApp, Mr. Pinchos from Buari says, good morning to you all there. Talking about the opposition coming together to work towards 2027, there could be a surprise. The problem will be INEC. And he says, if there's sincerity of purpose and integrity, Nigerians will get what they want. But we all have heard what the ruling party is saying about 2027, that there is no vacancy in Asorok. 2027 is a done deal. And then you begin to question where they're getting that confidence from. But with El-Rufai out of APC, he will reveal more of the weakness of the president that will be to the advantage of the opposition. This one is coming from Pinterest from Buari right here on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. I think we'll just move forward to a few stories that we have and then open up our phone lines one more time. Like I pointed out earlier, you can either send us a text message on WhatsApp or call us directly. Maybe in case you're trying to call and the lines are busy or your network is bad, you can send us a text message on WhatsApp and we'll take that one. Since we're talking about, or some persons have started talking about the issue around the IPOB, let's just look at that story for a bit. Right here on its Vanguard newspaper, the Anambra State Police has launched the Police Safe School Initiative. Police Safe School Initiative to ensure the safety and security of schools, students, teachers, and staff. This proactive approach comes as a direct response to the sit-at-home order declared every Monday by indigenous people of Biafra, which has disrupted academic activities. The Commissioner of Police, Ikiuye, visited schools and commended the residents for improving social and economic activities on Mondays despite the challenges. The Police Safe School Initiative focuses on 3 key areas: preventing crime, building partnerships, and providing support. Now, by identifying the preventing potential security threats, collaborating with social administrators and local communities, and offering support and resources, the initiative aims to create a safer learning environment. This approach is expected to yield several benefits, including improved safety, reduced crime, increased confidence among students and staff, and a better learning environment conducive to academic excellence. The Commissioner of Police urged residents to go about their businesses without fear of molestation, assuring them that the police and other security agencies have taken over the streets, especially on Mondays, to sustain safety in the state. The Police Safe School Initiative is a significant step towards addressing the security challenges faced by schools in Anambra State and ensuring that students can learn in a safe and secure environment. Now, there's been a lot of angles to this particular conversation. We heard the thoughts of Mr. Ruben earlier. We heard Mr. Garrett also, and then Mr. John from Abuja, not Mr. John from Otako now. But I think that why this particular conversation is really very important is because it concerns school children, and we're seeing how that, if we want to also be really very sincere with ourselves, we'll see how that this is impacting school children. Once upon a time, they missed, I think it was a JAM exam or a WAEC exam. I don't know if you remember that story. They had to miss out on the exams because of the seat at home, and also because of the height. I mean, you heard Mr. Ruben talking about how that if those boys catch you, on the streets on Mondays is a problem, and you see how that the lives of the school children are also at risk. So that's why the Anambra State, Police has launched now an initiative that caters to schools and school children, making sure that they are safe and they go about their school activities on Monday. Barrister, I think we should share your thoughts on this one before we move to maybe.
Well, before I talk on this, there was one of the callers said we shouldn't that INEC is not a problem.
Okay, that's Mr. John.
INEC
That's Mr.
is
John from
the
Otako.
problem. You can't run election in this country, and if you don't take care of INEC, they will not declare you. INEC is the primary problem before you now begin to talk about judiciary. INEC is the #1 problem. So don't say forget about INEC. If that institution can be abolished, dissolved, that would be the best. So don't tell me INEC is not a problem. INEC will always be the problem. INEC has always been the problem.
I also think that he has his own reasons for thinking that INEC.
No. Whatever reason he has, we have to be factual about it. We have to be truthful and honest and factual about it. Whatever reason he has for saying that INEC is not the problem is not valid. It's not carried at all. It's not. We are this country, we have seen it. They are not even denying it. What INEC does, anybody who wins the election, they will come to court and defend the person. Because they know what they did. They were the people who did whatever they had to do to bring that party or that person in power. So they will come to defend their trash. So that's it. That's the practice. INEC will always be the problem. And politicians will manipulate INEC to get what they want. And that's the way they manipulate everywhere, every system, every institution. Any institution that will arise to pose a challenge to the interests of politicians must be manipulated. That is the way it is. It's a matter of interest, and anything that stands on the way of that interest must be dealt with, manipulated, or taken out. That is politics for you. That is the way African politicians, Nigerian politicians, that is their mentality, and that is the way it works. And from the way the system is, that is the only way you can get results.
The way they have corrupted the system.
That is the way, assuming Obi played that kind of politics, maybe he would have gotten something.
PDP worked in that kind of direction. Would have still
That is what it is.
still been
Because the man in power today knew very well that there was no way he would ascend the throne if not by that way. Didn't you see a video when he was telling them, you go, you carry it, care what that comes out? Didn't you see the video was on social media? So what are we now saying? The problem with us in this country is that you see the problem, but we look away from the problem. Instead of addressing the problem, we look away from it. So that comment got me infuriated, man. Can you be telling me that INEC is the problem? INEC will always be the problem and has always been the problem.
Barrister, also from your own point of view, I mean that's his own point of view. That's his own opinion. I'm sorry, that's his own opinion.
Maybe
He has his
own
reasons.
reasons
Exactly.
INEC is not.
And Barrister also has his own reason, for saying that INEC is the problem. There are lots of Nigerians who believe that INEC is the problem.
And there are still some that don't believe that.
So if Mr. John is saying that INEC is not the problem, that is his opinion. He stands by it. He gave his own. In fact, he said hold returning officers accountable. And in fact, Mr. John is one person that whenever we're talking about lecturers and professors, his opinion is anything that concerns lecturers and professors, leave them to bear their burden because they are the ones who are
Those
returning officers.
INEC and professors or whatever, they are recruited by who? Who controls them? Who do they report to?
First, I
So
get,
that is INEC.
I get your take. I'll
Yeah.
Mr. John.
That's
right?
INEC.
Now,
So they do that once they get that immediate gain, whatever money they pay them, and they are satisfied. They go their way. They put everybody in a mess for the next 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be,
now,
or even 16 years, as the case. Because once it starts, it will continue.
moving forward, Barrister, let's look at this story regarding the Police Safe School initiative that ensures the safety and security of school students, teachers, and staff. This is more like a proactive approach, as a direct response to the sit-at-home order, declared every Monday by IPOB.
The truth is that it is what it is, just as we said. There's a reason for that, and then much as the Monday sit at home will definitely, you can't come and say it doesn't have effect on the people. Yeah, it does. But at some point, people were even comfortable sitting at home on Mondays. People were comfortable, people in the southeast were comfortable with it because they saw reasons with the agitation and all of that. And it's still the injustice against the Igbo man, against the southeasterner, still continues. All of the people who are part of the agitation, Sowore is released, the other one, Igboho.
Sunday.
So why are they still holding Nnamdi Kanu there? So this government, the country, Nigeria, from what we have seen and from what we are seeing, this is not what from what is happening. Now they've gone there to attack the man in Finland and all of that, just to shut him down and all of that. So it is what it is, and then people are not happy. That's it at home is a way of expressing displeasure, expressing the fact that they are not happy. But then, again, I think the governors, especially the governor of Anambra State, even that of Enugu State, they are really trying to see how they can fight and then stop that home on Monday. Maybe because of the effects, the economic and effect and otherwise. But then it's a good one so that students will be secured or while they are in schools on Mondays and all of that. I think it's not a bad, it's a good one.
Kevin, yeah.
I don't have much to say about it,
Okay.
and at least I've been able to witness that whole sit-at-home issue, because there was a time I went to Imo, and they were like, Mondays are the scariest day of their life because of the shooting. At least I was able to witness the Monday shooting, and it's scary. Because you just keep hearing throughout that period the gunshot and all of that. So they should just look for ways to make sure that at least Monday can be productive, because the Igbo man, they really need to work and all of that. And that apart from being an Igbo man, you need to sustain your state. So you need to work. So coming out with these whole rules and to protect, especially the students, it's good they need to protect them, because like I said, it's really scary. And imagine me just being at a particular place and I'm still like afraid of the whole situation. Imagine, small children, how they can react to stuff like that. So if they are going to open it up, if they are going to make sure that no longer sit at home, they should make sure that the security is tight, so that they don't hear otherwise with all the issues happening.
I would always be for the safety of, the Nigerian people, especially our young people. That's why every time when we even hear issues around kidnappings in schools, it triggers me a lot. Children have really faced challenges with the recent development of the sit-at-home, that's lingered for so long, and we really hope that the government would also listen to because just like some persons pointed out on this platform, sit-at-home is a recent development. It was never there before. I don't know if you get me. There's something that triggered the sit-at-home, and there should be room for conversation, with these people to look at ways to sort out what, prompted the sit-at-home in the first place that is now impacting, both young children, so that this safety thing that we're looking at or we're asking for would be able to fix it. We need to address security challenges that are faced by school children, faced by teachers. It's very, very important to make sure that our learning environments are very safe and secure, for young people.
One of the ways to address this issue of sit-at-home, which has been said, but government now continues to pay deaf ears to it. Release this guy. Others have been released. Leave this guy to go. Release Nnamdi Kanu. As simple as that.
Now, moving forward, yes, thank you, Kevin. Moving forward, let's look at this story right here on Tribune before we open up the phone lines one more time to hear from our people. IWD, NCWS advocates women's inclusion in government society. This one is on Tribune. Now, the National Council for Women's Society is advocating for greater representation of women in all levels of government and society, commemorating International Women's Day. Now, NCWS President Marjorie Asuko emphasized this call during a visit to the Cross River Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Calabar. She highlighted the significance of the 2025 International Women's Day theme, Accelerate Action, as an opportunity for women to raise awareness about their struggles. She pointed out that women in Africa face pressing issues such as HIV and AIDS, infections, human trafficking, forced marriages, property grabbing, and female genital mutilation. She urged those in power to expedite action supporting women's rights and combating poverty and health challenges. The NCWS advocacy also extends to the girl child, recognizing their potential to grow into women and drive change. Comrade Achibon Bassi, chairman of the Cross River NUJ Council echoed the importance of protecting each other's rights and called on the government to take action. The NCWS call to action aligns with the global theme of International Women's Day 2025 for all women and girls, rights, equality, and empowerment. Now, this year marks the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, a pivotal movement in the pursuit of gender equality. The NCWS's advocacy efforts aim to accelerate progress towards achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls in Nigeria. The month of March is generally Women's Day. You know that we don't get tired of celebrating women's. That's why sometimes the men will complain that
you don't get tired of anything.
That's
don't get tired of
why
anything.
sometimes the men will complain. Only if people have Girls' Day. Only if you have International Women's Day. If we now have Mother's Day. In fact, Mother's Day comes twice in a year, I think. So but I mean, we can't celebrate our women enough. And this month, the month of March is the Women's Month. And on the 8th of March, Barrister, just leave us alone now. On the 8th of March was International Women's Day, and part of the things that we're advocating for is women's inclusion in government, in all levels of government and in the society as we commemorate International Women's Day, understanding the value that the women also bring to the table in catering to national issues. Barrister, I am going to start now with this conversation. Your thoughts on it. In fact, to even start with what's been happening in the Senate, this period, and we're seeing how that even in the Senate, the number of men outnumber, the number of women that we see, the number of women in politics, and how that it's not encouraging to, several other women. But let's get your thoughts on this particular development, on the call or advocate for greater representation of women in all levels of government and in the society.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. But though I don't believe in that. This other president said something. Was it yesterday or so? Or 2 days ago? So he said that this Senator Nataza's issue will affect women's inclusion and all of that.
Sad.
Well, I don't believe in that. That's not me. But it's good, let's empower our women so that they have careers too, right? They can pursue their career, make achievements for themselves, have legacies for themselves, and then inspire others. When you have people, women in government, then you see the younger ones, the young girls will have people to look up to. And then, let's not be, well, most of them, let them not be looking up to content creators. Let there be people in government with good career that our young people will be looking up to. So I think it will help to shape them and shape the society and make the society a better place.
Thank you,
For all of
Barrister.
us.
Appreciate you for that. Kabir.
In Nigeria, yeah, it's kind of difficult to include women in politics, despite we keep coming out to say women must be included in Nigerian politics, and even the men too, they come out all the time to say we need women in our politics. The vacancy is too much. At the end of the day, you still see
We're not
that
seeing anything.
nothing is happening. When the women try to come out they turn up to join the politics,
They
for
will
one
use
way
their
or the
gender
other
against
to
them.
pull them out and say you're the woman, the other role.
Sad.
Very sad.
So sad.
But in as much as women are trying so hard, fighting so hard to join politics, to make sure that they also heard and seen and all of that, they are trying. They are coming up. At least maybe out of 100%, you see like, let me not go below 20 or 30%. At least women are coming out to join, to be heard. You see some of the achievements our women are doing, so it's a good one. So celebrating them is it's fantastic, because from the initial time, back in time, you see that women are not too involved in politics, and mostly them, no, you tell your opinion to the man, and the man will come out and voice it out for you. But at least they are coming out to voice out their opinions and stand up. So it's a good one, that, and it's a good development. So women should turn up for. They should give women the space. They should also accept us in, so that at least we can, because they say what the man can do. First, the man can
Why are
do.
you calling very stuck? Go ahead.
It's looking at me like it's big. The work is good. And if you're included, you know that motherly love, and you know, I don't want to bring in biology and all those stuff, but you know that motherly love and the fact that we can also think, we can do, can multitask and all of that. If they include us, you see, it will bring a lot of results into the political system.
Women are change makers,
Yes.
and this is a very important conversation. Shout out to the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You cannot
Yes. You
talk
see what
about
she's
the
doing.
administration of the past president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, without pointing out the value that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala brought to the table. Shout out to Obi Ezekwesili, also for her role. I think that the deputy governor of Kaduna now, Balarabe, is also a woman. These are women, as them amongst others, who are, contributing their quota, to bringing something valuable to the system of government, to the levels of government. And when Barrister was talking, he pointed out how that, when women like this come on board, it shifts the attention of our women from TikTok or social media
Content
role
creation.
models to women who are actually bringing value to the table and shaping the nation. And when Barrister pointed that out, it resonated with me, because Kebiya, when you go on social media and see what is going on and see who young children are now saying that are their role models, you are going to really be sad. I'm not kidding you. And because of the trends on social media now and who young women are looking up to, you see how that our value systems are dropping, our morals and values. You're looking for who we are as a people, who we used to be as a people. You're not seeing it with this generation of women, and it makes that when other women, step up, come into leadership, governance, and begin to bring these values on board, you see that younger children, younger generation will see quality women to look up to. And it's also important for society as a whole to push these women, because if you don't rally around these women and you rally around the younger what is happening on social media, you see that you move there. See, let me tell you something. I used to say to my teenagers that don't be carried away with the amount of likes that people who are dressing, you know what I'm talking about, in ways that the society, it's not even as if the society appreciates those ways. I would make a joke and say, if you're wearing clothes on social media now, it's like you're the one that is not normal. Do you understand? Because you see people who are dressing inappropriately, getting all of the likes and all of the comments, even money. Do you understand the point I'm trying? So it's as if those are the kind of persons that the society is rallying around. So it also makes that when there's an opportunity that for women to bring value to the table, it's also important for the society to rally around these quality women who are giving in their best to prove that our values, our morals, integrity, hard work, matter. So it's really very, very important. I think it's about time to also open up our phone lines one more time so that we hear from our people before we round up for the morning. And in case you want to share your thoughts with us, 0808-704-1217. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Vincent, is that you? Okay, good morning, Vincent. Please go ahead. Hello, Mr. Vincent, are you there? Oh, okay, go ahead. The network is breaking. We can't even hear. Can you hear me? Mr. Vincent, please do well to call us back.
Please do.
Please.
So that you
Telecoms,
sunshine.
our 50% hike. We need to begin to. I'm not even kidding. Oh, we need to begin to see results because we're still experiencing a lot of network issues, even with the 50% hike. Hello, good morning. All right, do well to call us back 0808, and that's why they are protesting. 0808-704-1217. That's our call line. Hello, good morning. Yes, loud and clear. It's better. Go ahead. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. NNPP, yeah. Mr. Vincent, are you there? Okay, please, yes, round up. Yes. The line is breaking. Your line is breaking really. So sorry about that. It's the network. That's why we're calling on the telecoms to fulfill their promise of giving us quality network services. Very, very important.
Essentially, they're going to call you out to tell you this, that you just started collecting the money.
Today is your day. Now, on Daily Post, the Nigerian House of Representatives, approved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's tax reform bills on Thursday after months of controversy. We just needed to put that out there since we're, rounding up for the morning. Now, the presidential spokesperson and special advisor on media and public communications, Sunday Dare, disclosed this in a statement through his official X account on Thursday. Now, Dario, without providing details, said that the bills were passed by the Green Chamber on Thursday after months of debate. This comes amid ongoing controversy surrounding Tinubu's tax reform bills in recent months. It's just to point out that the tax reform bills have already been passed. Hello, good morning. Alright, the number is still 0808 704 1217 in case you want to be part of the conversation this morning. To send us a text message also on WhatsApp, we're right there, 0901 Hello, good morning. Yes, Mr. John.
Mr. John. I'm listening. No. No. I want to say something.
Please round up, Mr. John. Please round up, Mr. John. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you. Thank you so much.
What I'm saying is that when you say that party agents or the representatives of the party signed those election results, how are you sure? Were you there when they signed? How are you sure that they signed? Meanwhile, before elections are conducted, INEC recruits these lecturers or whoever, and there are several meetings and instructions are being dished out. This is what you do. And in most cases, the results that are being announced are not even the results from the pool. That's what I'm saying. And when party agents, you go there, you see signature of party agents, how are you sure? How am I sure? Because I was not there, you were not there, we were not there when party party agents of the political parties signed, so to say. So INEC will always be the problem. They have a way of doing their things. That is it, my
Now,
brother.
I think to round it all up, 2027, because it's an entire system. The INEC chairman is not the only person, working. There's several other people. That's why also when we talk about corruption, we talk about how that, both civil service workers.
INEC chairman is the chairman of the corruption, who dishes out instruction on the corruption.
So, barrister, words, please. So, like I was trying to point out now, I just lost my thread of thought. Now, the INEC chairman is like the leader. There are a lot of persons also who are, working with him, who are working under him. And what we're asking for is that the entire system, the entire INEC system, conducts an election that will be favorable to Nigerians to win back the trust of Nigerians. Because whether we like it or not, a lot of Nigerians look up to INEC, to conduct the kind of election that will give us the leader that we want. So with the corruption in the system, just like Barrister has pointed out time and time again. In fact, when the former president came on board, the major thing that he said he wanted to fight was corruption. And it's as if the corruption kept increasing and increasing and increasing. If we're going to get the leaders that we want in this country, the system needs an overhaul. It needs people of integrity who would come on board to make sure that the kind of leaders that will take us to Nigerians will say to the promised land, will come on board. But I mean, we have to round up the conversation for the morning. Can we have your last takes, please?
My last text on today's issue is the government should try and give Nigerians breathing space with whatever tax they're trying to bring on board or whatever policies they're trying to bring on board.
Yes.
That's what matters a lot. They should just give us breathing space.
We need to
After all, they
breathe.
said
Because if the president
We
said
need
it
to
now,
breathe.
let the poor breathe.
Breathe.
Yes.
yes,
very-
so we
very
need to breathe
important.
very well.
Mm.
Yes.
Thank you. Barrister, please.
Well, the more you press people's neck by way of tax and tariffs, hike and increments, the more people will look for means of survival, even if it is getting corrupt to survive. So once you're increasing, people will look for means to survive. And if corruption and looting or stealing is a way to survive,
They are going to do it.
so it still falls back on the society. So that is what it is.
I think I'm going to end by triggering Kebby and saying that I'm waiting for Nance and their 72-hour ultimatum.
I like the fact that we said you want to say it's good thing you told this girl. So because I don't know the faith you have.
I intentionally triggered
I
you
don't
and
know
you
the faith you have.
just jumped into my trap. So we're hoping 72 hours. Let's see what we can make out of that. Nance, see, Kevin wants to tell me I told you so. You
I
guys,
really want to say I told you so.
you guys should help us make sure that telecoms and their tariff hike, will do something about it. And also, please point out to them also that the network services, they need to really
I've told you
work on
the
it.
reason why it's like that.
Yes.
They have not collected enough money. If they collect, they'll start providing the service. For now, they just started the same policy.
Kevin, we'll see you on Monday. Thank you.
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Shout out to Kevin for her thoughts on first. Kevin just came for me this morning. I don't know what I did now. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your thoughts and perspectives this morning. Shout out to you, Barrister Phillips, also for joining us in the studio this morning. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
Now, to all of our callers for the morning, Mr. Ruben was our first caller for the morning. Thank you, Mr. Ruben. Shout out to you. Mr. Bright, good to hear from you. Thank you so much. Mr. John from Abuja, thank you so much. And then Mr. John from Otako, thank you so much. Very consistent on Bar Republic. Shout out to you. Mr. Vincent was our last caller for the morning. Thank you to all of our callers. Thank God it's Friday. We're wishing you the best, and we hope that you have a fantastic weekend ahead. OBF Sports is already standing by to make sure that it gives you all the latest on the world of sports. We're going to catch you again, but that would be on Monday. Do